Josiah, at what point in the last play did you decide that jumping over the opposing team's running back was the best course of action?
It kind of just happened, honestly. I know just from film study the week before, we knew like at times he would cut or the other running back, but I just saw the QB behind him. I was just like, F it, I'm just go jump.
Had you ever done that before?
Nah, that's my first time. Yeah, that's my first time doing that.
Josiah, looking at Vandy a little bit and some of the tight ends that they have, what's the challenge going to be for you guys as linebackers with that matchup?
Yeah, it's a big challenge when you have a versatile group like that, a really talented group, but especially with their tight end Eli Stowers. He's really talented tight end, especially in the passing game, how they try to use him. He's best friends with the QB, so, they have a good connection. But it's going to be a challenge for us just trying to, continue to know who's on the field, who's off the field, trying to get the personnel down. So biggest thing is going to try to know who's in the game, the personnel. So, but, yeah, they got a good, talented group of tight ends.
Similarly, Diego Pavia prevents a lot of challenges with his feet. How do you guys plan on stopping him, and how do you plan on stopping him?
Yeah, great QB. He's up for the Heisman. We just got to execute, do our job. That's the biggest thing, and just rally to the football. It's hard to make a lot of guys miss when everyone's running to the football. So we just got to make sure we just execute our job, run to the football, and just do what we do.
Sorry, just one more on the tight ends real quick. Just have you seen a team that uses its tight ends specifically in this manner, and what is it about that challenge that's unique?
I feel like this is really the first team we come across where they use a lot of their tight ends, but they're very versatile when they do it, especially in their personnel-wise, especially a group that has a tight end like Eli Stowers. He's going to be the best tight end we come across. This year that's the best tight end. And, he's a threat in the receiving game. He'll go block too. And then they have also other tight ends that they can use in the receiving game, but also blocking as well. So just really like personnel-wise and knowing. So if you don't know who's on the field, you're going to be, behind the eight ball already. So, but they have a good, talented group of tight ends.
Everyone's seen the energy that Zion brings, especially during the coin toss. What does that do for a defense, when you have a guy with that much energy, that much sureness that you guys are going to go out there and do this? Yeah,
that's Zion every day in the locker room. He's always has the energy, but, him having that energy helps not only the defense but the team in general. It's contagious, when you have a guy like that. So, we all enjoy it, Zion just being Zion. But, yeah, we all enjoy it. It's contagious, and, it just feeds that defense and also the team, too.
Josiah, have you talked to Nick Rodriguez as far as not only just discipline, but also as far as just kind of reacting and getting over the mental hurdle of those penalties?
Yeah, that's just something the coaches have handled, but we know the type of player Nick Rodriguez is. He's not trying to hurt the team or anything. He's just trying to play hard, and he's also came to us and tried to apologize about the stuff. But we know the type of player he is. He never tried to do it on purpose, any type of that stuff. He's a great player. And, we know it'll get fixed, yeah.
Josiah, you mentioned Zion's presence in the locker room and otherwise. I wonder if you could tell us about what he does that brings that energy that we don't see. What is it that's behind the scenes, so to speak?
Man, he just talks 24/7. He just talks 24/7. I mean, if someone's talking, it's definitely Zion. If it's in the locker room, if it's 8 a.m, and someone's talking, it's Zion. So yeah, just messing with people, whatever, just talking to people, just just Zion being Zion, just trying to create energy, just talking. That's just his personality. We love Zion for just being who he is, authentic.
And he actually has something to say?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes no, he's just talking. He's just honestly just talking. I'm like, Zion, just be quiet. But, it's great sometimes just to hear his voice, sometimes. But that's just Zion, being an authentic self. But, we love it, though. He brings a great energy to the team, to the locker room. Great guy in the locker room, so.
Josiah, going back to your sack, Coach Inkwitz just said that you've been able to improve your blitz passing ability to get after the quarterback a little bit. Coach Nicholson, I'm just wondering what that work has looked like and how you've seen that area improve a little bit.
Yeah, just in practice, just continuing to just take each week, each rep, just trying to get better in all aspects of my game and just my blitz pass, whatever the case may be. But yeah, Coach Deaning has done a great job from all the way from spring ball when I got here all the way to now, just to continue to grow and get better each week, all aspects of my game.
Kind of a two-parter. When you were in the portal, and I guess before you ultimately decided here, what specifically were you looking for? And then I guess the second part, since you've been here, where do you feel like you've grown the most?
Yeah, when I was in the portal, it's not only just program that I feel like I could win an SEC championship and go to the playoffs and ultimately win a national championship, but also a position coach where I knew he was going to be able to elevate my game, continue to help me get better for the next level, and then a defensive scheme where I could feel like I could show all my attributes, talents, and abilities, and just a great group of guys in that locker room and team, obviously. And, you know, all that was here when I came on my visit, and that's why I picked Mizzou. And after the fact, all the way to now, I feel like I've been able to grow in all areas of my game, just continue to grow as a run defender, pass coverage guy, pass rush, just in everything, and just trying to be the best linebacker I can possibly be, and just put everything on tape that I want on tape.
Thanks, Josiah.